really, how is everything given you've had, probably an unwanted 2-week winter break?
Yeah, I mean, we're okay. We've obviously had a bit of a rough time of late because of what's happened. I think that's been well documented in terms of the squad and some positive tests. So yeah, look, we're getting up to speed with things, and it's slowly improving, getting people back. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's been a bit of a difficult time, but it is what it is. This is where we live in currently, and yeah, we're getting there slowly.
But can you use the time as if it were some kind of break, or do the negatives kind of mean that it's not been that useful in terms of fixture pile up and the illnesses?
Yeah, no, definitely we can use it, and we have used it. Yeah, 100%. Obviously, in terms of the amount of numbers we've had, it's been difficult because we've not had a full squad to use. But yeah, of course, we've got some really good work in, good training with the team. So yeah, we now got a game the weekend on Saturday, which we can get back onto things and start playing again, and that's vitally important for us as well.
Having lived it yourself, having to isolate, and obviously lived it through the club as well, the effects of COVID. What are your thoughts on, maybe carrying on, or should there be some kind of circuit breaker, in the whole Premier?
Well, I think over the last, I don't know how long, exactly 9 months or 10 months we've been playing football. I think that the people in the places to be, and obviously every club has proven that we can do it in a safe way. At the same time, there does seem to be a real upturn in cases. That's a new strain or whatever that may be. But look, I've been now working in this environment, and so are the players, for some time, and there's protocols in place, very strict protocols, which you have to stick to. And obviously, it's proven that we've been able to manage to play football, which I think everyone wants to watch, everyone wants to see. We certainly want to do that as well. So for me, do I believe that a circuit break or a 2-week break would be beneficial? No, I don't. Is it possible? Maybe, because the current climate we're in is, who knows? It's very, yeah, you just don't know what may be the case. But certainly, like I said to you, I feel that we're in an environment which is very safe. Just
finally on the COVID thing, Scott, but have you got any idea yet as a club when the Spurs game and the Burnley game can be fitted in? No information on that at the moment. So yeah, not heard anything. Yeah, that's what it is. So obviously some big games coming up in the Premier League, but first of all we got the FA Cup, and so how do you see that really in terms of priorities? I know it's a London derby, but is it something you have to maybe just concentrate more on the big Premier League games ahead? Chelsea and United.
Well, look, we got some big games coming up. I think there's no denying that our main focus this year is the league and us being competitive in this league. And our squad is not one which is blessed in terms of big numbers in that sense of quality. So yeah, of course. But in saying that as well, we've just had 2 weeks off, and we need to get right back up to speed. The squad and the players, what are going to be available, will be the best team and the best squad to obviously win the game, as well as taking into consideration the big fixtures and a lot of fixtures we've got coming up. Really. Can
I just ask you a couple about the transfer window? Seems to be some suggestion you'd like a striker. The right one came along. Would that be true?
I think it probably would, yeah. I think there's no denying that. I think, you look at the makeup of our squad and the balance of our squad. And really, I think probably only Alex in the building who's really probably a real recognised centre forward, really. So in terms of that position in our squad, we are pretty light. A lot of responsibility, and a lot holds on to Mitro. Obviously, Cav's been playing there and done very, very well. But yeah, it's definitely an area I'd like to strengthen.
And in terms of, you've already made it clear that the priority probably as a club would be to clear a few out to give them some playing time. Is that still the case? I mean, can you mention any names in particular, or can I mention some to you and you can back them back?
Yeah, still definitely the case. Regarding names, I wouldn't mention them at the moment. They're still our players, but you'll probably mention loads of names and it would be the same answer from me. But in terms of the squad, look, there's a lot of numbers here, and managing a big squad with a lot of numbers, people need to go and play football. We need to clear that a little bit, to be fair. So I think that's good for everyone. For the players who are not playing a lot of football can go and get some football, and for the dynamics and the real cohesion of the squad as well.
Well, I won't mention loads of names then because you warmed me up with there, but I will just mention one finally because there's a name and a club been mentioned by a few media outlets, and that's Jean-Michel Seri, Galatasaray loan. Is there any truth in that?
Yeah, obviously Mika's now been here. He wasn't named in the 25-man squad, so I'm sure Mika wants to go and get some football regarding names of clubs, and whether that will happen, I don't know. But like I said, I think that there's an option there for maybe Mika. So yeah, until that happens, or if not, he stays with us, and we go from there. Really.
Top man, thanks, Scott.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Staying on broadcast, can we go to Ian Abraham's Talk Sport, please?
Hi, Scott. How are you, mate? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, mate. You all right?
Yeah. You mentioned before when talking about COVID that you still believe that training grounds are safe, football grounds are safe. So the players have to look at their behaviour away from training grounds. And obviously you've read the news last week regarding Mitrovic and meeting up with Mitrović of Palace.
Yeah. 1,000,000%, yeah. I mean, the responsibility, not just for football players, but the responsibility on everyone in this current climate. There's strict guidelines, strict restrictions, and they're put in place for the reasons what we all know. So, yeah, for sure. Not just talking football, because obviously this is our environment, but it goes for everyone. So. We have got strict protocols. Players come in. We get tested now twice a week. There's protocols in place at the training ground. What you can't do, what you can do. So of course, players need to take big responsibility when they also leave these premises, training ground premises, or come out of our bubble in terms of what they're doing and who they're mixing with. And so definitely that's the case.
Were you relieved this week when the lockdown was imposed again, yet football was allowed to continue? Because obviously a year ago when the very first lockdown took place, football had to stop.
Yeah, it definitely was, because obviously you go into lockdown and you see, like you said, in the last time we went into lockdown, everything shut down. And then once things got in place and protocols come in, then obviously we picked up again. So relieved, because we want to do our job. We want to play football. We're now 14 games, 15 games into a season, and we want to keep doing it. And as long as it's safe, and as long as the well-being of everyone who's involved, it's a safe environment, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to crack on.
It can obviously be a mental health help to those supporters who are watching, as indeed could a cup run. So I know you want to stay in the Premier League desperately, but Fulham have never won the FA Cup. So it would be a real feather in your cap if you could manoeuvre through the rounds and get to the latter stages and maybe even win it.
Oh, that would be an incredible feat. But yeah, look, the cup brings a game here for us now where without this game on Saturday, we would have gone three odd weeks without playing. So good opportunity for us to obviously put some good work in over the last couple of weeks in training, but it gives us an opportunity now to use a squad, to have a run in the game, to give people games, and also keep developing as a team and keep moving forward. So a win at the weekend is something which we want to try and do. You're on mute.
Ian, you're on mute.
Sorry. I was going to say, finally, your opposite number this weekend is under a little bit of pressure, Mark Warburton. In terms of experienced managers, though, and guys who know what they're doing, he's certainly right up there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I know Mark really well. When I was at Spurs for that year as an 18s coach, Mark often come in and visit us. I remember playing against his Brentford team. Obviously, then went up to Rangers and Forest and that. So a man with a lot of experience, a lot of quality. So yeah, as always, know the challenge is what we'll face. It's certainly against Mark's teams. Put you under pressure with the ball in the sense they want the ball, and they'll cause you a few problems regarding that. So he's result-wise not probably gone the way he would have liked, but always got a clear identity in Mark's and the way these teams play.
Brilliant stuff. Good luck this weekend. Good seeing you again. Happy New Year.
You too, pal. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Ian. Emma Jones, BBC London.
Hello, Scott. Just on QPR, it wasn't actually that long ago that you were playing each other in the Championship. I imagine these teams will be quite significantly different in terms of the players.
Probably not too different. Obviously, we've improved, but in that sense, brought players in, but still the main nucleus of our squad is one which got us into this division last year. So I don't think there'll be massive differences from the last time we played, really.
So does that suggest that maybe you will be playing a few of your players who haven't been featuring more frequently in the Premier League?
Well, there will be that opportunity to play players what have obviously not played as much, and that's not being disrespectful to the competition in any way. We will play our strongest possible team at this present moment in time, and obviously with an eye on the following week and the fixtures that we've got coming up. So that I think is well documented in what we've gone through over the last 2 weeks, and the game what comes on Saturday. The team will be the team what needs to play, really.
QPR have been struggling in the Championship. I guess you could assume their priorities might be elsewhere as well. On paper, it's a game that you should win.
Yeah, on paper, maybe. I think we realised, didn't we? Certainly the FA Cup and the surprises and the shocks. Not that this would be a big shock, because, like I said to you, QPR. We played against QPR last year. Had 2 very, very good games. I remember the one at home, certainly, even the one away, really. Both games were nip and tuck, and probably certainly one at home we're lucky to come out with a win and put us under immense amount of pressure early on. So, look, this is an FA Cup game. What both teams have quality, and I know, like I said, that Mark and his team have probably not picked up the results they've needed. They come off the back of a good result, which was against Norwich, and it'll be a tough game.
As a player, how close were you to joining Queen's Park Rangers? And would it be simplistic to suggest that you chose Fulham over QPR?
Yeah, not really. I wasn't really close. There was some talk and some speculation when I was leaving Spurs, and there was some talk around it, but not really a go and not really a lot. So that's what I think.
And finally, from me, sorry, on the subject of COVID and the recent stories, I wondered how disappointed you were that you had to miss having Christmas with your family, and then you saw the pictures of Aleksandar Mitrović apparently breaching guidelines.
Well, regarding the incident, bitterly disappointed. I think, myself and the football club were bitterly disappointed to see the pictures of Alex, and obviously what will come with that. So, of course, I think, he understands he's made a mistake, he understands he's irresponsible and not acceptable, and obviously we've dealt with that as a football club internally. So I think like anyone, you make mistakes, and obviously there's one there what Alex has made, and he'll have to live with the consequences of that, to be quite honest with you. So disappointed, and he knows that, and but we have to move on now, and that's where it is, really.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emma. I think that completes the broadcast. Can I just check John Driscoll, BBC, do you have any questions in this section? If not, we will move swiftly on to the writers.
Could I just briefly ask Scott about your own experiences of playing in the FA Cup?
The one I really remember is that is when I first started out, really, and we got a tie at Charlton. I was at Charlton. We got a tie against Dagenham Redbridge, and I remember probably that being that's the real vivid one. What sticks out in my head, getting to a semi-final with Spurs. But yeah, I think that was it, because that was when I grew up on the FA Cup. You know, Arsenal getting beat by Wrexham. I think I remember it was when I was driving home in the car, listening to the radio and all the shocks and the surprises of results come through. But certainly for me, it was, I think the game was called off, or it was close to getting called off against Dagenham Redbridge at their place, and all the hype will come around it, and the big team against a littler team. So it's a fantastic competition. It definitely is. Maybe lost its little bit over the last few years, but certainly for me and my generation, I think we can all relate to the FA Cup with massive memories and FA Cup weekends and what they bring. There's a nostalgia to it, certainly for me. So yeah, they were the memories mainly.